Good morning, everyone. Hope you are doing great, all of you, online students and the campus students. Um, yeah, previously we have discussed the ER diagram. We have looked at some concepts related to the ER diagram. So you need to focus on four main things. If we are talking about ER diagram, we need to focus on ER. It's a model. ER model. Okay, ER model elements or main concepts. Okay, we need to focus on four main things. Who can remind me? One, what we call this? You remember this? Remember this example? What is this? First, the basic concept of the ER diagram is the number one, entity type. Okay? This is number one. And any object, any distinct or unique object inside this entity type will be known as entity occurrence. So it depends on number of items in each entity type. Okay? For example, in student entity type, there are, let's say, 4 students. So how many occurrences of this entity type? 4 occurrences. Okay? It depends on the objects inside each of these entity type. Okay? Number 2. I'll check if I can share the camera here. So what is number 2? Yalla. I'm refreshing your mind. You said relationship type. Yes, exactly. Which is this one. All right? And also, it has what? Occurrence. One occurrence will be appearing in from one entity type side, and the other one will be appearing from other side. So, for example, this relationship will have 2. How many occurrences for this relationship? 1 from here and 1 from here. Okay, so 2 occurrences. Number 3. No, relationship degree, we will talk about it. We are talking about basic or main elements, okay, attributes, right? What comes inside in each entity type? These are characteristics of the distinct object from every entity type, okay? Attributes. For example, what is the main attribute for student entity type? The main attribute. We said attributes are, what is the meaning of attributes? We discussed it before, like student.
A property of entity or the relationship type?
Yeah, it's a property of the entity type. For example, for student, your data, يعني data. No, your data. ID, excellent. So student, ID. For example, student, ID, student name. So this is the attribute, okay? For the course, for example, course code, okay? Course code. These are attributes, okay? These are attributes. Properties for the entity type. Number 4, and it's the very important, constraints. And we will look at constraints. You remember when you look at some examples of ER diagram, there is one like this, for example. You remember these numbers? This is some kind of structural constraint. We are going to discuss these, okay? So I'll camera. See, we have discussed these. I want you to focus on these four things in this chapter slide. Okay, I don't know if you can see it clearly here. I don't know. You can see it? You are there? Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's clear. See? These are main elements. These four elements. Entity type. So we are going to focus in this chapter slide on these four. Okay? Every time we are going to take one concept in more detail. So four main elements. We have discussed the entity type previously, right? We said it comes in the UML notation. We call it UML, Unified. This kind of object-oriented language can be used to represent data state plus behavior. Okay? So using the UML, the entity type will be represented as, what is this? Rectangular shape. Rectangle. Okay? And the name will be a noun. Okay? A singular noun. Normally it's singular noun. Student, course. Alright? And it starts with a capital letter. Put this in your mind. Whenever you want to draw an ER diagram, let's take entity type for example. We need to draw each entity type or each element of the enterprise organization as a rectangle shape. The name must be included inside, starting with a capital letter. It must be singular now. Okay? Now, this is what we have discussed before, and we said that the entity type occurrence depends on number of items or objects each entity type can hold. As I said, the entity type, the student, for example, includes 5 students. Okay, 5 records of students. So how many occurrences for this will be 5? Okay, will be 5. It will be occur in a relationship. So 5 students, for example, will register some number of courses. Now the relationship. Let's talk about the relationship. Let's talk about the relationship. The relationship is, we define it as an association among entity types. Okay? Now what I'm doing here, I'm teaching you how to draw it. Okay? Understand the main concept and how to draw it later on. And by the way, I have uploaded the link on Blackboard. Each student group, each group of students, group of 4, must fill the form. I will show you after.
All of them members of the group or just one?
Just one must fill it. Just select one from the group. If you are not in a group yet, still you can fill the form. You can enter your name, and I will look for other students. Maybe there are other students. Okay? So the link is available under the folder. I will show you. I'm going to show you after I finish discussing. So the association is the relationship. The relationship also has a type. We have discussed it before. The type here, for example, what is the relationship name, for example? Can you tell me here? The name of this relationship?
The process of
Student?
Students and course. Student course?
Yes, student course. But what is the verb that we can use here? Student, register or take. For example, take. Let's have this. Take. All right. Student takes or take. Or a student. If we assume that there are many students take, and there must be, it must be a verb or a phrase. A phrase. Like for example, yeah. If the direction of the relationship from the courses to students, what is the phrase? What this must be the relationship? Course? No. Course taken by, right? Yani same verb, but it will be converted to a phrase. If the direction, this is the direction of the relationship. If the direction is like this, then The relationship name will be
Take one.
taken by. See how I typed this, how I wrote this. I started the verb here with a capital letter. Okay, but here the phrase I started it with a small letter, but the other word in the phrase must be capital. So this is how we can do it. All right, got the point? This is how we can do it. So students take course or students take courses. All right, so this relationship takes this direction from top to down. But if we consider it from the other side, we can say courses are taken by students. That's the point. So this is the name. How we can write the name, how we can decide the name of the relationship, it depends on the type of the relationship between these entity types. So take, and it must follow one direction only. Can we say course take student? It's not possible. We can say it this way. So this is a phrase. This is a phrase. So it can be like this. It's correct. And it can be like this. What is this? Verb. Okay, this is a verb. So you can use it both ways. All right. And the relationship, the association can be drawn as a line, a straight line. All right, between two entities. So what else? Okay, so this is about the relationship type. Let's talk about the attributes. No. Let's talk about the types of relationship. Now, the relationship comes in different types. It depends on number of participants. What we call these entities, entity types in a relationship can be known as participants. So students, participants in take relationship. Okay? Same with courses. Course, participate, sorry. Courses or the course entity type is a participant of take relationship. Okay? Or course participates in take relationship. So this is what we mean by a relationship type, and relationship occurrence will be occurring from the student entity type and occurring from the course entity type. Okay, I'm going to share the slides now. Let's finish. This is what we have discussed previously in the previous lecture. Okay, got the point? Do you have any question? All right. So let's talk about the. Let me share the file. You have any question, students online? Jinan, sorry, because I'm writing on the board. I'm writing on the board. Sorry, I cannot take the laptop there. Okay. Okay. If it is clear, then perfect. Now let me share the file. No, not this one. Okay. Now let's talk about the. Let's talk about the relationship type. There are degree, or we call it degree, the relationship degree. Okay? What are the relationship degrees? It depends on number of participants or number of entities participating in this relationship. So what is, for example, for student courses, student take courses. This is the relationship. How many entity types are there participating in this relationship? Student courses. How many? Two only, right? Two. So it's called binary. Binary means it includes two, right? So this is number one. All right. So we have discussed these. We stopped here, right? Last time. Now the degree of a relationship. A degree of a relationship. just remove this so it can be clear for you. Here, you can see it, huh? Okay. All right. So the degree of the relationship, and as I said, it's number of participants, number of entity types that are participating in this relationship. So it can be 3 types. It can be number 1. It can be binary if it includes 2 entity types, 2 participants. If it is including more than 2, then we call it complex. Complex. That is 3 ternary relationship, or quaternary, which includes 4. I'm going to show you now some examples of these relationships. Okay, so binary is like what we have discussed: student take course. Okay, a student take course. So ternary and quaternary are complex. Okay, there are specific rules that we need to deal with these, or we need to follow to deal with these relationships. All right. So participants are the entity types participating in each relationship. Okay, let's talk about the binary. For example, let's take the binary, and this is an example, the binary relationship. And as you can see here, it includes 2 participants, which are staff and branch. Okay, and what is the name of this relationship? Has. The name is has. Okay, which means branch has staff. Okay, the direction will be from branch to staff. Okay. All right. Now, this is a binary because it includes 2 entity types only. And the other one, the other example is PO, or private owner, private owns. From private owner owns what? Property for rent. Okay? Property. So private owner owns property for rent. This is 2. So this is number 1, 2. That's why we call it 1, 2. We call it binary. Okay? Binary. Now let's talk about the other one, which is ternary. Ternary, including 3. Look at the relationship. What is the shape of the relationship this time? Diamond shape. In the UNL notation, how we can represent the complex relationship, with all complex, ternary or quaternary? We can draw a diamond shape around the name without any direction. It's okay to have no direction. Okay? So how we can represent the complex relationships? We can have a diamond shape, including the name inside the diamond. So, for example, here in this ternary relationship, okay, we can see that staff registers client at a branch. This is the relationship. Okay, so it will include 3 entity types: staff, client, branch. The staff member will register a client in a branch or at a branch. All right, so this is 1, 2, 3 participants. All right, 3 participants. The other example will be, yeah, so as I said here, the name will be inside a diamond and no direction arrow. The other one will be like this, if you can see here. So the degree will be 4, right? 4. 4 means how many? 4 participants. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how the relationship can be, how can we read this relationship? For example, arranges is the relationship. So a solicitor arranges what? A bid on behalf of a buyer supported by a financial institution. Okay? This is how, it's like a story. You are just having an event, for example. This is an event. This person will arrange a bid on behalf of this person supported by this institute. Okay? So this is just how to represent the complex or the 4 or relationship with degree 4, degree number 4. Same, we can draw a diamond shape. So solicitor arranges a bid on behalf of a buyer supported by financial institution. So 4 participants. Got the point? So these are types of relationship. Degrees of relationship. Binary and complex. Let's say complex, ternary, and quaternary. There is another type of relationship, another type which we call recursive. Recursive. Okay, because it's unary. What is the meaning of unary? Relationship degrees. Number 1, unary. Unary, how many participants? Only one, yeah. Exactly, 1 participant. Okay, so it's only 1 participant. Why? Or we call it recursive. Recursive. So put this in your mind. There are two terms. Okay, I will speak loudly, sorry. There are 2 terms representing the 1 participant or 1 degree relationship, okay? Number 1, we can call it unary. Yes, exactly, Maryam and Batul. Okay? Number 1, unary, because it includes only 1 participant. But why we call it a relationship? Because there are more than 1 role involved in this relationship or in this entity type. Okay, more than 1 role. Like for example, we can call it also, the other term will be recursive, like this one, like this example. As you can see in the slide, the staff may include different roles in the same entity type. There are different roles, as you can see here: supervisor and supervisee. Still, the supervisor is a member of a staff, right? He is a member of a staff, and supervisee are a member of a staff. Same, but they have different roles, 2 different roles: supervisor and supervisee. So, for example, we can just have 1 degree relationship among the same entity type. We can say supervisor, supervisor, supervisee. Okay? Can you say it quickly 3 times? Okay. So supervisor, supervisor, supervisee. Okay. So this is the type of what we call it: recursive or unary. Okay. So we can call it also recursive. Let me just write this here. Recursive. Okay. Recursive. We said number 2 degree. Number 2, binary. How many? 2. Okay. Most of the relationships are like binary. And number 3, complex. And we can say complex, we have 2 types. We have ternary. Moving 3, we have, this is the degree, okay? Quaternary. 4. Okay? 4. Got the point? Got it? All right. Let's talk about, again, the recursive also might appear in this type if there is 2 relationships within the same entity type. Okay? Sorry, the role name might appear if we have binary. Still, we have binary, not unary. Sorry, this is not about recursive. If we have binary and there are 2 relationships among the same entity types, in this case, we can use the role names. For example, here, branch, staff manages a branch. Okay, you can see it? Staff manages a branch. We can set a role here. Which staff member is going to manage the branch? The manager. So we can write it on the top. We can do this. What we are discussing here are possibilities that we can use the role name, the relationship, different roles, okay, among different degrees of relationship. So we can have the role name also written on the top of the binary relationship in case we have two different relationship or two associations among them. Okay, so in this case, can you see this? Manager manages branch office. Branch office has member of staff. Okay, different roles. So these are different roles in binary relationship or binary or the degree. When it is binary, it's possible to have the role name in case we have two relationships. Okay. Now let's talk about attributes. You remember the four main concepts of ER model? We discussed the entity type, relationship, now attributes. Later on, inshallah, next week we will discuss the constraints. Okay, so we will discuss the. Let me just. Attributes. Attributes. We said what does it mean? You said property. Yeah, a property for entity types. Some properties, like for example, some characteristics about this distinct object. Okay. For example, student properties. What are the student properties? Student ID, student name, student major, student phone number, whatever. Okay, any property that describes some aspects of this distinct object will be known as an attribute. Okay, attribute. Now, the attribute in the ER model can be like this. Okay, let me draw it here. Every time I switch both colors, every time. Okay. For example, my student, right? We have this entity type student and we have course. Okay, and there is a relationship here. The direction will be from student, take. Okay? What are the attributes, set of attributes that can be drawn here? We can do it this way. We can put a line. Okay, we can expand the height of the rectangle and we can put a line. And let me show you here. Student. Then. Sorry if the voice will not be clear because I am a little bit away from the PC. Okay, hopefully yani, you will get the point. So student has many properties that will describe some aspects of this, like for example, student take course. All right. Now, what are? Just give me what are the? Yeah, we can do it this way. All right. Student ID. Oops. Okay. Student ID. Student name.
Phone number. Which year?
Phone.
Major.
Okay. Phone number. Major. And so on. Okay. There are so many properties for this. How about courses? Course code. Can you see how I represented, how I typed it? I started, if there is two
words in one line, the second word
will be capitalized. Exactly, that's the point. The first will be small, the second will be without a space, but will be.
It's not only 3 words, right?
It can be. But 3 words, for example, if it is an entity type, it must be capitalized. If it is an attribute, same way here. Same with the relationship. Okay. So student ID, student name, starting with a small letter, then the other word included within the same attribute will be capitalized. Okay. The second one will be course code, course title, right?
Date of exam.
Exam, course exam, and so on. All right. So these are what we said attributes. These are attributes. Now, attributes, the attributes, we said it's a property that describes some aspects of the relationship. Now, how about the domain? We talked about domain before. What is the domain of each attribute? Domain. Can you remember from the previous chapters?
Allow value for one number or
Sorry.
attributes.
Set of allowable values for each attribute. For example, let me just here. Okay. Yes, Qasim. For example, what we have here. Sorry. Okay. I didn't get it. Ah, okay. Course instructor. Yes. Okay, I will write it for you. I was saying like, what is constructor? Okay. So it's course instructor. All right. So thank you, Qasim. So yeah, the domain for each attribute set of allowable value. For example, the domain for the student ID is what? The student ID, the domain will be set of all student IDs, right? Set of all student IDs. How about the domain? So here, there will be domain, okay? For example, for the ID, set of all student IDs. All right, so this is the domain. This is an example. How about the description of this domain? For example, student ID domain. The description can be what? How many characters? It's a number. Okay, this is one. It's a number. How many characters for each ID can be accepted? How many characters? No, we cannot. We cannot accept one. Can we? 2000, 2000 something, 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 something. I think 9. 8 or 9. Yeah. We started before accepting 8 characters only. Now it becomes 9. MashaAllah, number of students is growing. Okay, 9, 10. Yes, we can do that. So this is domain. That's the point. The domain of every attribute. Now let's talk about the types of attributes or the types. Yeah, types of attributes. We have different types here. Let me just go back to the. I'm not gonna show myself here. I'm avoiding, but okay. الحين زين. بالكاميرا ما يصير عدل. Right? You are like, okay.
You want me to go online and check?
What?
Is this okay or what?
It's up to you. It's okay. No problem. I don't mind, يعني. But let them come here, يعني. Better. I'm encouraging you to come. I will be glad to meet you all here in the section, guys, online. Zain. Okay, let's talk about attributes. Yeah, types of attributes. Okay, so far, Gina. Right. Okay, we have simple and composite. What does it mean? We have 2 types here. Simple and composite. Simple means it includes only one single component. Okay, this is simple attribute, one single component with an independent existence. This is what we call atomic. Nice name, huh? Okay. So simple attribute will be including only one single component. Okay, and it can be, for example, position. Okay, as stated here, position like manager, only one component. It cannot be manager and something else. Okay, so manager, job, for example, job title, same position. This is simple. Okay, simple. So it can be known as atomic. The second one is, so number one, simple. Simple. It comes with a single component that has independent existence. Number two, composite. What does it mean? Multiple component. It's يعني the opposite. Okay, so it's the opposite. The simple will include, yeah, exactly, more than one component. Like, for example, address will be including, address will be road number, will be city, postcode, yeah. So this is a composite. We can call it composite. Okay, there is another type, single value. And don't be confused, please, between these, okay? You need to just focus and you will get what every type will, or what every type can be defined, okay? So for example, single, multi-value, single value, multi-value. Now, what is the difference between composite and multi-value? You will find out now, okay? So simple, we said how many components? One, simple, okay? One component. Composite, more than one, multiple components, okay? Single value attribute, it accepts one value only, okay? Only one value, accepting one value. You get the point? As in, what is the difference between simple and single value? Okay, I want you to, yeah, imagine this one, okay? Student ID. For example, address. The main one there on the top will be only address. What is this? This is composite, okay? This is composite. The address is composite. Why? Because it includes here road, okay, block, city, many definitions, many headings, okay? Let's talk about, like, just to make it clear, it's not heading, but I want to clarify. So many headings under only one attribute. Many headings. It will accept road. It will accept. So this as a whole, it includes a multi-component. Okay. While, for example, the position is something else. Position. Can we say here staff and manager? We cannot say. It's only one. So the position will be only accepting one position, one job title. Okay, one job title. So as a whole, it's only including one component, one thing. Here, three things, for example. But if we talk about single value means, like, for example, the student ID. The student ID. Here, it will be accepted only one value. This is the meaning of single value. Got the point? When we talk about the heading, we will say simple or component or composite. Simple or composite. When we talk about the heading, okay, we can say simple or composite. But when we talk about the values accepted under this heading, we can say single value or multi-value. Okay? For example, the value which will be accepted for the student ID all the time will be only one value. Can we insert more than one IDs? We cannot. Okay? So it's single value attribute. While the multi-value, like, let's take, for example, telephone number. We can put here in the same cell, for example, same. We can put mobile or we can put home, right? It can be like this. For example, for me, as an academic staff, I can put my mobile number in the system plus my office number. So this is what we call this multi-value. Got the point? So this is composite. This is simple. This is single value. This is multi-value. I will show you now. Okay, guys, don't worry. So number 1, simple. Number 2, composite. Number 3, single value. Number 4, multi-values. See here? It holds multiple values. Okay, something to be held. See? See here. The main difference, where is that? Is it okay like this? Oops. Oh, no, 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 fine. Okay, if you can see this is what is written on the board, you can see the four صغيرة أصلاً كلمة يعني ما بتأثر. Anyway, okay, this way is better. Okay, you can see number 1 composite, including here number 1 simple, including just one main attribute. Okay, the attribute itself will be only one component, while the attributes here will be multiple components. Talking about the single value and multi-value, the single value, the attribute will be holding one value. One value only, while the multi-value, it will be holding more than one value. It can be held, for example, like telephone number. So telephone number can accept home or mobile. All right. So this is the point. So how many types of attributes? How many types of attributes? 4. So far we have discussed 4. Okay. Simple, one component. Composite, multiple component. Single value, accepting one value only. Multi-value can be accepting or can be holding more than one value, like the telephone number. Most of the attributes are single value. Okay, most of the attributes are single value attributes. Okay, now last but not least, yeah, there is another one, number 5. Let's talk about number 5. There is, you remember one type of attribute that is calculated, like, give me the example, remind me. An attribute is not really existed in the database, but it's calculated upon another attribute. Yes, Batul, excellent. Date of birth. Batul, yes, age. It's age. So age is not really existed. For example, here we don't have, for example, age. In the database, we don't have age. Okay, it's not there. It's not really stored in the database. But it can be calculated based on which attribute stored in the database. I will take, for example, date of birth. So some attributes are derived. This is something we call what? Number 5. Sorry about the mess here. So number 5, derived. Okay, derived attributes. Why? Because it's calculated based on another attribute or another piece of data. Okay, so it represents the value that is calculated and not necessarily is or in the same entity type. It can be from another entity type. Okay, for example, so the value will be derived, like here in this example. What they stated here in the slide, deposit of the lease entity. Okay, there is a value of the deposit. It's calculated as twice the monthly rent. Okay, but it will be also derived, or at the same time, it will be derived from the rent attribute. So it takes from 2 entity types. Sometimes the derived attribute will be calculated based on 2 different entity types. Okay. Let me show you here an example. for the derived. Where is that? I'm not sure if it is there. Let me just check. I'll just move to that one. There is a slide showing you, yeah, this is it. Okay, see, in this slide, you can see how it's represented. So this is the way it's represented using the ER model notation or UML notation. You can see this one, for example, total staff. It's included in the staff, but it's not really exists. It's not necessarily to be existed in the same entity type. It is based on another entity type, like for example, total staff. Okay, and see, it starts with the slash. See here, starting with the slash, which means this attribute is derived. Okay, calculated. All right. And what is this? This is simple. Can you think about what are the types here? Staff number. Staff number. Which type of attribute is this? Staff number. Single value. Okay, single value. So because it accepts only one value. How about name, position? These are position will be only one component. Can be simple. Okay. How about the address here? Can you see the address? Yeah, the address is composite, multi-component. Why composite? Because multi-component. The attribute itself is divided into 3. يعني الاسم بروحه فوق تشوفه الادرس مو بس يك ادرس يك ستريت يك العناوين تكون اكثر من واحد. هاي يسمونها composite. Okay, بس let's talk about the telephone number, for example. Multi-value because it accepts more than one type of telephone number. Okay, yeah, you got the point, right? You got the point. بالضبط. That's exactly the point. Okay, now last thing, let's we talk about the keys or the candidate key that is used here. The candidate key, same as keys that we have discussed in the relational model. نفس اللي ناقشناهم في الجداول. Electron, relational, the previous chapter slide. Exactly same as what we have discussed in the relational model. We have candidate key that uniquely identify each set of allowable values for each entity type. For example, the primary key here is the staff number. Okay? And the primary key for the branch entity type is the branch number. And it's selected to be a primary key. It's a candidate key that is selected to identify, to be the main identifier for this particular attribute. Okay? So candidate key, also there might be foreign key. All keys that are not selected to be primary key can be known as L. You don't remember? Okay. Alternate keys. Any keys, any other keys. يعني staff, there are staff ID, staff name, staff position, and so on and so on. Okay. The ID, our staff number, is the primary key. It's selected to be a primary key, the main identifier for this entity type. Okay. While other attributes are not selected to be primary key, but they are alternate key. Sometimes they can be foreign key. Okay, foreign key. Keys can be also. Sorry, the time is up. I know, but you need to know just to know. Keys can be only one candidate key, okay, or it can be also composite. All right. And we said the primary key cannot be null. You remember? Cannot be null. Okay, that was all for today. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay, awesome. Yes, correct. Okay, so inshallah, next time we are going to discuss the other concepts, like for example constraints. We will focus on the constraints. Okay, now let me check the participants, the attendance. Attendance is very important, guys. Okay, attendance is very important. I'll take your name after a while. Okay, just give me a second. Okay. Uh, you have heard me in the beginning of this lecture. I've said there will be a link. Oh, sorry. I'm going to show you. Yeah, it's better to show you. Okay, see, there will be a link. I will show you the link and how you need to fill it. Still, students who did not find any group yet, you can still follow. Yeah, sorry, you can still fill the form. Okay. Really, Yusuf? Okay. I'll check the system. All right. Thank you for letting me know. So as you can see here, inside the module, I kept all the theoretical parts here. Okay, so you can see here inside the module there are all supporting materials will be uploaded here, as you know. Under the project, I have created a new folder, project. Okay, you will see here a project proposal. You don't have to hand me a hard copy, okay, because it's mentioned in the project instructions. It's mentioned that every group must hand an A4 hard copy to the instructor within week number 7, I guess. Okay, but you don't have to do this. It's easier to fill the form. Okay, so just decide, fill the form with your name first. You can still fill it if you didn't find any group yet, as I said. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, this is it. Just make sure that you select, if you have joined a group of 4, select yes and then fill the form. Otherwise, provide your name here. Okay, so thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for attending today. See you next time, inshallah. Thank you.